Hey guys, this is Big Will and this is my insect deck. But before I start explaining it, remember to subscribe, and if you want to build an insect deck too and you need some advice, send me some messages or comments at the bottom. Alright, first we're starting off with Ultimate Insect level 3. Basically, they level up cards. I have Ultimate Insect level 5. It decreases a monster by 500 points when he's on the field. He levels up to Ultimate Insect level 7. He decreases a monster by 700 attack points. And they can all be normal summoned or special summoned in any type of way, but they only get their effect when they're special summoned in a specific way. Doom Dozer, he can be special summoned by removing 3 insect monsters from your graveyard. He's a 2800 beat stick basically, and when he does damage to your opponent's life points, they have to discard the top card off their deck. Grass Chopper, he's a Gemini monster, mostly a captain of this deck too. When you summon him again, he has the effect to attack all your opponent's monsters once per turn. We have Anteater Eating Ant. Tribute 2 of your spell or trap cards on the field, and each turn you can, instead of attacking with him, you can destroy one of your opponent's magic or trap cards that's on the field. He's pretty good in just about any deck, but he's really good in the insect deck. Insect Princess, don't really have to explain, you pretty much know the effect of her. 3 Insect Knights. I have 3 Howling Insects. 3 Pinchoppers. 1 B-List Soldier. B-List Soldier would also work with Pinchopper, or if you have a card in your deck called, which you go pretty good in here, it's a trap card called Limit Reversal. You can special summon 1 monster from your graveyard with 1,000 attack points or less, and if it's switched to defense mode, it's destroyed. Basically used with Pinchopper, that would work too. Swarm of Scarabs. Swarm of Locusts and Swarm of Scarabs. Scarabs basically destroys your opponent's monster, and Locust destroys your opponent's magic and trap cards, and they can be flipped face up and face down once per turn. We have the Worm Warrior. Remove 1 insect monster from your graveyard from play in order to special summon him to the field. He's a beat stick 1900. When he causes damage to your opponent's life points, they have to discard the top card off their deck. Needleworm, basically you guys know what he does. When he's flipped, your opponent has to discard the top 5 cards off their deck. We have a Phantom Cricket. When he's flipped face up, if your opponent has a face down monster on the field, it goes to the top of their deck. Basically, it stops their draw power, especially when they need it, because insects like to swarm the field. Man-Eater Bug basically destroys your opponent's monster. That's what he's there for. Chainsaw Insect, basically beat stick monster, 2400 attack. When he attacks your opponent's monster or battles your opponent's monster, they have to draw, which also helps with making your opponent deck out. We have a Desert Protector. Desert Protector, for each spell and trap card on the field, he goes up by an additional 300 defense points. Pretty good since he already has 1,000 defense. Prickle Fairy, she works really good in this insect deck if you use DNA Surgery, because as long as she's on the field, your opponent can't attack any insects, and if she's an insect, your opponent can't attack her. So basically that's a pretty good defense right there. Shattering Axe, you can activate this during your turn or your opponent's turn. It's a good card because it constantly decreases your opponent's monster during the standby phase by 500 attack points, and it's pretty good to knock out beat stick high power monsters that your opponent may have, and that's a big surprise. Alright, we have Wall of Revealing Light. When I use this card, I usually pay 3,000 life points because it's people usually can't get a monster over that in the remaining amount of time, so basically why I use it. Protects your monsters from being attacked, but you can still attack. Trap Hole, basic, you know what that does. DNA Surgery, I explained it earlier, it works, change all monsters on the field to insects. We have a Scrap Iron Scarecrow, basically defense. Flip it over once per turn to negate one of your opponent's monster attacks. It's a really annoying card. because it never goes away. We have a Sakuretsu armor. I would recommend having 2 in here, but if you just like switching it up sometimes, I would use the Shattered Axe. It's pretty good too. But yeah, we have a 1 sack in here. Wabaku, bottomless trap hole. Basically, like I showed earlier in my remove from play deck, I use 2 bottomless trap holes in that deck, but in this deck I use a trap hole and 1 bottomless. I would not recommend having a deck without having at least 1 or 2 bottomless trap holes or regular trap holes in the deck. I usually run 2 in each one. Heavy Storm, basic card. Share the Pain, that's an oldie. I can't remember exactly which pack you can get this out of. It's probably Metal Raiders or something, but you tribute one of your monsters and send them to the graveyard, and your opponent is forced to do the same. It's good to use that with Pin Chopper, because as soon as he's sent to the grave, you can special summon an insect monster from out your hand. And don't forget, level 7, Ultimate Insect level 7 can also be special summoned out of your hand with Pin Chopper. Enemy Controller, basically it stops Jinzo, as I like to say, because your opponent will summon Jinzo or some trap stopping card and they'll think they have you beat. Flip over Enemy Controller. Since Jinzo's defense is so weak, you can pretty much take it out with any monster these days. So that's pretty good. Smashing Ground, basically staple. You pretty much know what it does. Sword, stall card. Mystical Space Typhoon, basically it's a magic and trap card destroying card or whatever. Forest increases all insect monsters and beast warriors and beast cards up by 200 points, attack and defense. Fissure basically destroys monsters on the field. Creature Swap, really good. You can use this with different type of monsters like Pin Chopper or Howling Insect. Switch controller your opponent's monster and that monster. Force your monster, your new monster that you got from your opponent, to attack like a Pin Chopper. You'll get the Pin Chopper's effect. Oh, you won't? Oh, my bad. But you get Howling Insect, right? Oh. Well, anyway, basic card. Switch controls your opponent's cards, whatever like that. Pretty good. Pot of Avarice, really good card, because when your insect monsters are sent to the graveyard, you're allowed to pull them all the way 5 monsters from out of your graveyard, shuffle them back to your deck, draw 2 more. Basically pretty good in any type of deck. Insect Barrier, when you use that with DNA Surgery, your opponent can't attack because all their monsters will be changed into insects. So that's pretty good too. We have a Robe of Rebirth. It's usually good to use it with Pin Chopper or any other monsters that you like to sack off by attacking with it. If you can like equip it to your Pin Chopper, force your Pin Chopper to attack, you can special summon during the end phase, it'll come back to the field. Pretty good card, I think. Burden Sanctuary. Whenever an insect monster is destroyed, you can bring 1 insect monster from out of your deck with the same exact level. Basically, you'll never go empty-handed when you have this card on the field. And Monster Reborn, self-explanatory, you guys. So I hope you liked this video. Like I said earlier, please subscribe. Leave comments if you need help building an insect deck or any type of deck, because I usually get bored around the house and I just build different type of decks and stuff like that. Check out my Killzone videos and my Fable 2 videos, and I'll be coming out with more. Leave comments. Alright.